So go ahead, man. For those of you who don't know, this is Aaron, the trucking guy. I got some special guests on here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Tell who you are, where you at.
What's going on, man? It's your boy L Boogie with the hoodie. You know I'm blessing the Lord, highly favored, excited about Jesus, excited about the word of God. My cup is running to go, and I still want some more. How about you, man? Who I am? I'm L Boogie with the hoodie.
All
I,
right, man. I
I'm
love
known
that.
as L Boogie.
That's why I wanted to do this, man. I love your energy. I love what you got going on, man. So just jump into it, kind of tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do.
All right, so what I do basically is I teach people how to go from company driver to owner operator. And so I teach people, I give people the tools, I give people the different things that they need to be able to be successful as an owner operator. So, I don't do everything by myself. I have a team of people to help you be successful, teaching you different avenues to go down to be successful because a lot of people they just get into trucking and once they get into trucking, they end up, 6 months later, they're out of trucking. A year later, they're out of trucking because they didn't have any tools, they didn't have any mentors. So I'm the mentor, I'm the coach, I'm the one who helps you along the way to be able to help you be successful in your journey as being an owner operator.
Yeah, man, I love that, man. And that's what it takes, man. And with the failure rate, with people getting into it is 98% in the first year.
Yeah,
Uh, People starting their own MC and stuff. And I see so many people going out of business. That's why I wanted to get into it and do what I do as well, which is consulting. I just
yeah,
hate seeing people go bankrupt. I hate seeing them get a truck and then it breaks down and then they're out of money and it's
yeah.
bad. Whole family. So and there's so much to do here, man. There's more than enough freight. There's more than enough positivity going on in the industry. You can get in and really make some money, man.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you drive truck, right? You drive
Yeah,
for
yeah, I drive.
yeah. So anybody that can find him on YouTube, Instagram, all that, but you actually drive, right? But you also consult with people on how
Yeah.
to get into the industry, what's the right avenues to go about it. So what does that take? Kind of getting into it. What does it take to be successful in trucking?
Okay, first of all, I tell people like this right here. If you're gonna be successful, and this is across the board in trucking, in banking, in I don't care if you dancing or whatever it is that you're doing, you got to have a plan. Okay. Most people fail because they don't have a plan. Okay. So that's the first thing you need to get. You need to know where you're going because if you never know where you're going, you'll never know when you get there. Okay.
Right.
If you don't have a plan to say, you know what, I want to make 500,000 net income. I want to make 250,000 net income. I want to make 200,000 net income, a million net income. You'll never know how to get there. You'll never know how to scale if you don't have that plan. So that's number one. Number two is this right here. In order for you to be successful, you need to make sure that you have some capital. Okay. You got to make sure that you have capital or access to capital. Okay.
Absolutely.
Meaning credit, business credit, a line of credit, a HELOC, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you have that. And once you have the credit, once you have the capital backing you, you can't fail unless it's something that you do. You know what I'm saying? You can't fail because the money is always. Because let me tell you something. In trucking, the money is always coming in. The money is always gonna be there. It's so many accounts that's available right now. Like I just seen the other day, I think it's FedEx or UPS. They just like canceled like 1,400 customers. They said, you know what, we can't deliver for you. Then they
Right.
came back on their word and said, you know what, we're gonna try to make this right. We're gonna try to do it. But that's an opportunity right there.
Yep.
When you see that and you see, okay, I can get into this industry, I can make the money, and the money is always there, and money is going to be coming in. But the thing is, you have to find out where the accounts are at. You got to find out where the lanes are at, and there's plenty of lanes out there. But you got to be able to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. Okay, a lot of people are not ready for the opportunity when they present themselves. And I tell people like this right here, and I heard this from I think Les Brown or Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, or somebody. They said you got to be prepared for the opportunity because
Yep.
even if the opportunity don't show up, guess what? Be prepared because there's nothing like being unprepared. The opportunity to show up, and guess what? You're not prepared, and there goes an opportunity down the road. We
Yep.
all have those times right there when we're looking down the road and be like, man, I should have taken advantage of this. I should have taken advantage of that right there. You know what I'm saying?
I think
So,
that is Zig Ziglar says, or one of those guys, success is where preparation meets opportunity. Because them opportunities come by every day, all the
yeah,
time. If you ain't prepared to capitalize on those opportunities, you ain't gonna be successful. You know,
You're
you
right
got to be.
about it. And
Yep.
I tell people like this right here: secure the freight. You know, secure the freight first. Know what you're doing. I tell people, you know, you don't have to go out here and go top of the line and do everything. You know, a lot of people that, you know, a lot of people, they have money. They got the money to spend. You know, whether you're gonna save the money, whether your credit is good. But first of all, get some instruction. You know, get some knowledge about the industry, because guess
Right.
what? You can have the money, go out here, get you a truck, and your truck not be compliant. And guess what? Now you're out of money. You got to pay tickets. You know, your
Yep.
truck is not running. You just paying insurance on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can get into the
Pre-
industry.
Telling it now. Telling it now. That's what it is, man. That puts you out of service, and then you stuck. You know.
Exactly. And so why spend money, crazy money, when you don't have to spend that money? You see what I'm saying? We're not in the business just to be giving money away. If I tell people application, um, uh, getting that application, the knowledge before the application, that right there is gonna save you. Finding you somebody like the trucking guy, finding you somebody like myself to be able to take you to the next level, or to be able to guide you along the way. You need
Yep.
somebody to guide you along the way. Because think about this right here. If I can, if I'm just new to the trucking industry, or if I'm new to being a company driver or owner operator, and I have a plan, I know where I want to go on building up my credit and my capital, my cash flow, everything like that right there. I got somebody on the side telling me exactly what I need to do as far as my money is concerned. And then I hit up the trucking guy and I say, hey man, look, I wanna I wanna get into this game and I wanna be successful. How is it that I can contact you and avoid a whole bunch of pitfalls, because you done been through the pitfalls, you have experienced the pitfalls, and you know other people who done been through the pitfalls?
Yep.
How is it that somebody can reach out to you and be successful and avoid that stuff, but then somebody not reach out to you and say, you know what, man, I just got this truck over here. Okay,
Right.
good, hooray! I get these calls all the time. I get these
Yeah.
inboxes all the time. Hey man, I just got me a truck over here. I had to put my payment is like $1,300. Cool beans, man. I put like $5,000 down. Cool beans. All right, did you get it inspected? No.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. What
And
kind
I
of
think
warranty you got on it?
there's so many people out here like you and me, man. There's a vast majority of the people out here really know what they're doing, talking about it, preaching it, and helping people. And I think that, I don't know for you, but when I got into it, the access to this was not available. You know what I mean? It
It
wasn't
wasn't.
something available. So now with the access to the information and the access to people like me and you to help them, and it's cheap, man. It's like no money compared to the money that we're saving them. I had to go learn it the
Yeah.
hard way. It cost me thousands of failures and in dollars, man. I mean, just
Yeah.
constantly and paying DOT and messing up my safety score in my company and all these things. And trucks breaking down and it goes on, you know. But I think the
Right.
access like me and you now is such a beautiful thing that people can go online and find a coach, a mentor, a consultant, something to help them get in there. And that's exactly what you're saying, man. And it's right. It's 100%. You know, you're hitting it on the mark.
Yeah. Let me share this story right here. Okay. And I always share this story right here because this one right here is somebody that reached out to me and they was just getting on with a company, and I told them some different things to do, and it seemed like everything was going right. But it's important, very important. I would say number one, that when you're buying a truck, you get that thing inspected by
Oh
somebody
yeah.
who knows what they're doing. And this guy right here went, got his truck. He was excited. Man, I'm about to get over there, about to come on over there. I'm about to do this right here. I just got my truck. Cool beans. He got his truck, ran 1 week, got up in Ohio, Michigan, somewhere like that, Pennsylvania, I forget. But got up north. After 1 week, the motor blew up. I said, man. And he ended up
Yeah.
having to spend about $35,000 because some stuff burnt too. And I was like, man, after
That's
one
yeah.
week of being in business, and the thing is, like I charge currently right now, I charge $250 for 30 minutes for a consult. Okay. So it would have been easier for you to say, "Hey, Larry, let me pay you the 250 and tell me what I need to do in 30
Right.
minutes." And I can give you a contact. You see what I'm saying? I can
Right.
give you that contact and say, "Hey, look, man, you need to reach out to this person."
For $250, you saving them thousands. He paid 35,000 for $250. You just saved him $35,000. but he
Exactly.
didn't call you first, so he paid the 35,000 rather than the 250. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I tell people, it's no money. The money you call me, get on the phone, their mind is blown usually. By the time they get done, they're like, hold up, I want to make another call, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's good though, man. That's good because if you can save somebody like that, like the reason why I got into it was really to help people, man. I don't do this for the
Yeah.
money. I have a trucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You operator, you making money doing that. That's what we do is trucking.
Hmm.
I literally did this just to help people, man. And it's
Yeah.
like, money's not everything. I see like you're a good Christian man, but we get satisfaction out of helping people. That's part
Yeah.
of being successful. You know, when you
Yeah.
can turn and help the next man up, that's how we measure our success. It's not
Yeah.
just dollars and cents, you know?
Yeah. And it really does, like you said, it doesn't matter about the money. Even though you can have somebody who pay you the money for the consult, and then you end up usually giving them way more than it's usually like in the first 3 minutes, I can give you $250 worth of information. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
usually I end up giving you
That's true.
$5,000 worth of information.
Right.
Depending on where you're going, saving you from those areas where you're gonna go into, where the area, and then most of the time, you can have those students, you can have those people that hit you up for the consult, become students, mentees of yours for whatever
Right.
price you have that for. But man, having a mentor coming into the game, I don't care what you're doing. Mentor, I don't care if you're dispatching, if you're being a broker, if you're being an owner operator, a company driver. Because guess what? I tell this about company drivers too. A lot of people think, oh, it's a company driver just way down at the bottom of the totem pole. No, you're not. You better know your place. You
Right.
better know your place. You out there on the road. You're out there meeting with the shippers every day. You're out there with the receivers every day. You got the bill of ladings. That's
Yeah.
powerful. If you
Yeah.
got bill of ladings in your hand, man, that's contract. That's money. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
And
that's
imagine if, and people say all the time, you know, I tell them to get the call and then they don't do it. And then they finally get the call when something happens. They wait till something
yeah,
happens to call. And I'm like, man, imagine if you had access back in the day to Mr. Landstar Legan himself or Mr. JB Hunt himself. That's priceless. It's
yeah,
priceless. If you could get on the phone with any of them back in the early stages of their business and say, hey, what can I do to be like you? And they were able to mentor you up, you would be so much further ahead. You would skip all the obstacles that we had to go over and learn. You
right,
won't skip. So you get a jump start that we didn't have. We had to
right,
learn the.
exactly.
You know, it's priceless. In my opinion, it's super undervalued. We could charge $1,000 an hour, and it would be
Yeah,
undervalued. You know what I mean?
undervalued.
Yeah.
But
So
because relationships are powerful, man. You
right,
know what I'm saying? Because if I know you and you got the plug to this person over here and that person over there, man, that could save you thousands of dollars. And
thousands.
and especially if you get to the point where you get you a contract or get you
Right.
a dedicated lane, you know what I'm saying? This stuff is gonna save you thousands of dollars. I just met with somebody the other day. This cat got over 1 million emails. I said, man, where have you been all my life? You know what I'm saying? Do you know
Yeah.
what kind of connection that is to be able to have
Right.
someone that have a
That's
million email in the trucking industry?
right.
You
That's
see what I'm
crazy.
saying?
I got one of my clients. He's currently in my mentorship program. Really cool cat, man. And he was like, man, I'm having trouble getting a trailer. He said, I've been doing this power only thing, and he owns his own company. He's like, I want to get a flatbed or get a step deck. I can't get a trailer. I called around. I can't get approved, whatever. I gave him one phone number. He called, got approved, put the down payment, going to pick his trailer up on Monday, like that.
Yeah,
And he's like, man, it was that easy. Like that right there was worth the little bit of money to pay to be a mentee because I called. He said I called everywhere. I couldn't get a
yeah,
trailer nowhere. I call you in 10 minutes. You got a trailer.
exactly.
And he was like, that right there is worth the money, all day
Yeah,
long. Just the connections there and the phone numbers that we have that we've learned over the years, who not to go with, who to go with, you
right.
know. Imagine somebody that's even 20, 30, 40 years in the game that we look up to. I mean, the way I see it, I learn from everybody. I
Yeah,
have clients on me, and I'm like, oh man, that's a cool idea. Let me write that down. I learn from everybody.
yeah,
So I just love that access to people like us nowadays. It wasn't there when I started. Believe it or not, when I first started, the load boards like the DAT and the truck stops and stuff wasn't even a mobile app yet. They didn't even
yeah,
have an app. It wasn't that long ago, like 6 years ago. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Now, just in that short a period of time, I tell people all the time, Facebook and stuff was already around and be an app since way back.
yeah,
And that time frame, the trucking companies or trucking load boards went to having an app. So it shows you the growth in just 5, 6 years.
yeah,
What
yeah.
can we get in 5 more years?
Yeah,
Uh,
and also like with the DAT load board, that's one of my sponsors that I have. I don't know if they sponsor you or not, but
uh,
that's
on any sponsorships yet. I've just kind of not really been worried about it. I get a few calls and emails they want to sponsor, but I kind of just let it go, and I'm gonna wait till I get a pretty bigger audience and then start doing the plugs and the little stuff like that. So I've had quite a few trucker tools. Different people hit me up, and I'm just like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
yeah,
Right now, like even on YouTube, I can turn my ads on and stuff, and I don't do it right now because I don't want to aggravate the audience. I want to just kind
yeah,
of do it a little bit for a little longer, and then I'm gonna do that. Um, but that's awesome that you're doing it though, man. I love the energy. I love everything you got going on, man. It's awesome. I really do.
yeah.
So we kind of hit on a little bit what's it take to be successful. But one of the other questions I get that I didn't write down here, but I get this question all the time. I'm sure you do. How do I get into trucking? I got no money. I got no credit. How do I get into trucking? What do I do to get into trucking? What's the steps that I can take to get in there?
Okay, first of all, what you need to do, you need to make sure that you go get your CDL somewhere.
Right.
I tell people like this right here. Whenever you get your CDLs, I always say CDLs, but it's a CDL. Whenever you get your
Right.
CDL license, your commercial driver license, one of the things that you can do is you can go get them yourself, and you can take the test and like rent a truck or whatever, and you can go drive for someone. uh, but it's not too many people hiring new people except for these big companies. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I know some smaller companies that hire people right out of school and right out of different things. So if you go into school, uh, you're gonna have to work for like Swift or somebody like that. So don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't, work for Swift or JB Hunt or Warner or somebody, because you have to, everybody, we got to start somewhere.
Right.
You know what
We
I'm
gotta
saying?
gotta put our time in, or take our licks
Yeah.
before we get there.
Yeah, and so you do that right there, and then along the way, you get you a mentor. Even if you got to pay for the consult, you get you a
Right.
mentor so they can help you get the steps of wherever it is that you're trying to go. And I always tell people, learn everything you can on as being a company driver before you go to the next step of being an owner operator. Okay,
Right.
it's easy to become a company driver, and once you become that company driver, everything that they tell you to do, you want to treat that like that. You want to treat that truck like it's your business. A lot of people treat the truck like it's the company truck, and they say, "Well, I don't care. I jackrabbit off the line every time." Which means pull off the line real fast. You know what I'm saying? They run it. They running over holes and stuff. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. They don't care. They say, "Hey, I got a flat tire." They ain't looking at the process or
Right.
anything of how to call roadside assistance. They're not looking at the process of how to go from one location to the next location. You know what I'm saying? So I would say learn everything you can as being a company driver, and as far as the repairs, everything like that right there. And then once you learn the repairs and everything like that, and you feel like you're ready, and you got the capital and you got the freight, okay, you got a contract or something. Then from getting that contract or whatever, what you want to do is you want to find out, okay, do I want to lease on to a company, or do I want to lease onto a company, or do I want to get my own authority? What I tell people to do is take steps. Okay. Yeah, we don't have that much time, but guess what? They're gonna have freight next week and next year, just like
Right.
they're gonna have it 5 years from now. Okay. It may change a little bit, but they still gonna have freight. So go from getting your CDLs, being a company driver. I would say lease on to somebody like Landstar. After a year of experience, keep your license clean. Keep your record clean. Keep all that stuff clean. Once you go from that right there, once you go from being a company driver, and I would say lease on to a company and be an independent owner operator. And then once you learn how to negotiate, you learn rates, you learn where to run, where not to run. Because I know a lot of people. I get this right here all the time. Hey man, I just picked up a load in Texas and it went to Montana. I can't find no load out of Montana. Dude, they're not making nothing in Montana.
Oh,
They don't make
yeah.
anything in
I get that.
Montana.
Oh, and I can't tell you. I've been doing this for a long time now, going on 5 years, and even from the beginning, man. When I was leasing on owner operators, I get people call me, man. I'm in Montana, and this guy I'm working for owe me money, man. There ain't no loads coming out over here, and I'm broke down, and I got no gas money, man. Can you help me out and this and that? And I'm like, well, why would you go to Montana? And how much does this guy owe you? And he's like, oh man, he owe me like $10,000. I'm like, how are you gonna wait to get $10,000 from a guy? You should be getting
Yeah,
paid at least once a week. You shouldn't keep running lows up to 10, 15,000. I
yeah,
said, and they're like, oh man, because that's why we pay after every load here. But
Mhm.
I'm like, why would you go to Montana anyway? What do you know about Montana? You're from Louisiana. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't know what you're getting into out there. And
Yeah.
they're stuck. You know, I'm like, for one, don't ever go out there again. There ain't no money coming out unless you're getting $10 a mile. You don't have no reason to go out there. You know.
Exactly. And
And I
that
get that all
that's
the
knowing
time.
your lanes and stuff too.
Yeah.
And so like being with a
Being a company driver like you were talking about and learning what the lanes are and everything else. You know, I get this call out because I tell people, man, if you got no money and you got no credit, go get on with one of these guys that'll pay for your CDL. Now I know a lot of people don't want to do that because they're not holding your CDL for a year or whatever, but
do
pay them
that.
all companies, right? But here's the thing: there was like, man, I don't want to do that because I don't want to do this for a year. A year is not that long driving for a company, right?
No.
It's swift. Once you get through that year, you're free to go wherever you want. But at the end of the day, you're able to learn about breakdowns, like you said, learn about lanes, learn about scales, learn about inspections, learn about, and I think a year is enough time that you need to do that. That's about
Yeah.
the minimum amount of time before you go get your own truck or go sign on with somebody else or drive for somebody else making more money or whatever. That's about the minimum amount of time you need to learn what not to do, you know?
Yeah.
The unfortunate part about it though is they do send you to New York and LA and then places like that, and you got, but you know, you put your time in. If you can do that, then when you know twindle it down to a better, smaller thing that's
Uh-huh.
not those areas, you can do a lot better because you already know what it's like, what not to do. You know,
Right.
on
Right.
time. You know,
Yeah.
so but what made you get into trucking? That was one of the questions I had too, man. Let's jump into that. Just what made you get into it as what you do?
Well, first of all, I first got into it in 2007. Um, and didn't have no job. I was listening to people who was telling me, like, man, you know, you should go drive or whatever. But my license wasn't good enough to because I had speeding tickets and stuff like that, so I couldn't go to no school like Swift, and they kept pushing it off. So when I finally got all that stuff off my license in 2007, I was able to go. But I needed a job, and I was like, man, I need to find something to do. And so for the last 15 years, on and off, you know, I've drove. I've been a driver, and I've been company, lease purchase, owner up, and you know, I like to do more teaching and stuff now. I like consulting because one of the things that I found out in what I'm doing right now is like I was on the phone one month for like over 8,000 minutes. Okay, because I had put my phone number on YouTube and told everybody, "Hey, call me if you got any advice. I mean, if you got any questions or anything like that." And people
Right.
started calling. And then my wife was like, "Hey, you need to start charging." Other people was like, "Hey, you need to start charging." You know. And so I was like, "Man, I don't know."
The same thing. I was doing the same thing. You're on the phone all the time. It's taking time away from my family. It's
Yeah,
this and that. Time away from talking to me. If you're gonna do it, you need to at least get paid for it. I thought, man, ain't nobody gonna pay me to be on the phone. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But then I
exactly.
started, man, and you'd be surprised, man. I do a lot of calls, man, and it's unreal to people. But you know, I get a lot of satisfaction out of it, though. You know.
Yeah. And then too, like we're having the calls and stuff like that, it like charging for the calls, it really weeds out the people that just want to take up your time from
Right.
the people that just want to, you know, that's going to be on the phone and be serious about it. The people, when I was doing it for free, the people that wrote notes, had questions already prepared when they got on the phone with me, those are the people who gave me tips and stuff when I first started doing it. Those are the people that, hey man, how much I owe you? Oh man, what? Say what? You know?
Right.
And they would give me a tip and stuff like that right there. I'd be like, hey, thank you, man. But then the people that I be on the phone with the longest, I'd be on the phone with them for an hour. I'd be on the phone with 45 minutes. They'd be like, hey man, hold on for a minute. Hey, y'all go sit down in the back. Y'all stop that. They be on the phone. Oh man, I dropped my food. Wait a minute, man. Who's out there? You know, they in the car
Right.
turning. Man, this joker won't go. Baby, you know, I'm like, man, you're wasting my time. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But when you have to pay for it, I started charging $150 for 30 minutes. I did that for like a couple years. And I just took it up to at the beginning of 2021, I took my prices up to $250 for 30 minutes. And that's because I had so many resources. Like when you call me for the consultation, like if you're trying to get contracts, grants, I got somebody for that. If you're trying to get a pre-truck inspection, pre-buy inspection, I got somebody for that right there. If you're trying to get insurance, I got somebody for that. I'm talking about reputable people, people that I trust. You see what I'm saying? And I don't trust everybody, and I don't do business with everybody. I got somebody with compliance. I got somebody who can teach you about international freight, different stuff like that, to learn what you need to do to be able to position yourself in your company or in the United States so that you can go to the next level, and so that you can be prepared for the freight when it comes in. And so I said, well, 250 ain't that bad because I'm giving.
Like I told you, it's undervalued at
It
250,
is.
at 500, at 1,000. It's undervalued.
It is.
Tell me all the time, man. There's a couple guys on YouTube. They got this, platinum plan and Lambo plan and all this. They're like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for mentorship. Yeah. And I'm not knocking any of them, but they don't have the experience that we have. Because I can talk to you know what you're talking about right off the rip. And so they get that and they pay for that, and then like, man, it ain't really there. I haven't really, nothing's changed. They call me and do a one-time phone call, and they're like, dang, man, I want my money back. In 1 hour, I done learned more than I learned paying $2-3 grand, and I'm gonna go execute on this, right away. Because I always tell them, you gotta, get out a note, let's build a plan. Where you want to go, how we gonna get there? Boom, boom, boom. Don't waste time on else. What do you want to do? Let's tell you how you get there. Everybody's different. Everybody, somebody will own a op. Some people want to have fleet. Some people want to be brokerage. Some people want to do this, that, dispatch, and whatever.
Yeah. And there, like I tell people, it's 100 different ways to get into the trucking industry. 101. Let me tell you something. 1,000 ways to get into it. You can go to the truck stop right now and just start interviewing people and ask them one question. How did you start your company? How did you get into it? Some people say, well, I bought a new truck. Some people gonna say, I bought a used truck. Some people gonna say, my grandfather gave me this truck. My dad gave me this truck. My father gifted me the money or whatever. If my cousin came down and he just had some extra trucks on the side or whatever. So it's different ways that you can get in here. And as long as you end up at success, that's the thing that matters to you. So you can go get you a new truck. A lot of women are in a place to where they like to go get themselves new trucks. So because they don't want to be on the side of the road broke down and stuff like that. Because this industry is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So for a woman, a lot of women, I see them, they go get new trucks, whatever. But if you got the money that's coming in and if it's paying, like what?
Right? You build longevity. Some of these trucks will go, a long time before they break down, and they got warranty and everything else. Like the T680s that we got, 675,000 mile warranties on them, man. I mean, everything's covered. You have a problem, you take it over there and get it worked on. But yeah, man, that's that's kind of what I'm saying too. The same thing is just there's so much opportunity out here. There's a million ways to attack it. You can get in, from sweeping floors all the way to the top. If you got money, build a fleet. There's just no one size fits all in this industry. And that's what I ask them, because everybody's definition of success is different. Oh, I just want to have one truck. I don't want no fleet. I don't want to run a back office. Then I have people come. They just don't have a CDL, but they don't want to drive. They buy 3-4 trucks and sign them on with us. Hire drivers. We run them. So there's so many aspects of it.
It is.
But where do you think trucking is going, man? Because I get this question a lot, and I'm sure you do too. I don't want to get in if you think it's gonna, fold up. I don't want to get in if. And I actually seen you talking about this the other day too. You was talking about this right here. They're just like, man, I don't know if it's a good time. What if I get in and this and that, and I can't afford it? And you was like, what if you don't get in?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I'm sure you get that question a lot.
Yeah, I think it's going in a direction that's gonna be, it's. I don't think it's going nowhere anytime soon. Okay. It may go somewhere. You may see the autonomous vehicles on the road, the self-driving trucks on the road, and different things like that. But it's still a long time away. It's still enough time for you to get into it right now. I mean, because we're not in the old days where you got to stay in the industry 20 years or 40 years and then retire. My granddaddy worked at a place for like 30 or 40 something years and then retired. They gave him a watch. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think the watch is working right now. You know what I'm saying? So
go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going nowhere. I think there's a lot of opportunity in it, no matter where you go. Okay, so if you want to get into it, like have a parking lot, or if you want to start a gas station, I think there's a long way that you can it's a.
Man, I think parking is huge, man. If somebody wanted to and they had the capital and the means to get into parking and even charge for it, which I don't think they good because I mean, I think the government should come in and get us some parking because it's ridiculous out there.
Yeah.
And I on the road in 2 years. I just now started going out again, training somebody, and a good friend of mine. But I've been off the road for a minute. It was bad when I was on the road. It's worse now. And parking deal, and it's crazy. So even if you had to charge for it, $10, whatever, people should get into that, man, because that's a big game. You could do a monthly service, and if you had parking all over the country, man, I'm talking big lots, big ones. You could do a monthly service, 30, 40 a month. People pay it. You could just clock in and pull into them spots. There's so many ways to get into it. It would be crazy, man.
Okay, let me drop a gem right here because you just spoke on something. Okay, you said there's not enough parking right now. Okay, yeah. Let me tell you something about business. A lot, like one of my mentees told me this the other day. No, I told him this the other day. He said a lot of people talk. I told him a lot of people said that more money, more problems, and that's like, oh man, money. You don't want to have a lot of money because guess what? It brings more problems. But guess what? The thing is, business is solving problems, and so guess what? More money, more problems. Okay, let me solve these problems so I can get more money. Okay, so more problems show up. Guess what? I get some more money for those problems. You see what I'm saying?
Problems equal money. If you
exactly.
can solve a problem, the more problems you can solve, or the more difficult the problem that you can solve, people gonna pay you for that. That's what money is at the end of the day. I need something taken from here to here. That's a problem for me. You know how to solve it, truck and drive it from there, right? But no matter how you look at it, my truck's broke down. I got a problem. I pay you. You got a solution. You fix it. No matter how you look at it, I don't have a load. You got loads. I pay you. You give me the loads. Whatever. There's that problems like successful people, the Warren Buffetts of the world, Grant Cardone's, whoever, they figured out that that's what it is. It's problems equal money. The more problems I can solve, the more money I'm gonna make.
Right.
You gotta solve problems. If you don't want problems and you think, man, the more problems, the more money, or more money, more problems, blah blah, you ain't gonna be successful. You ain't gonna be a millionaire. Just by saying means you ain't gonna be a millionaire. Because I tell you what, I've been in a lot of industries. All businesses every day, when you get to a certain level, we have like 30 trucks now. I used to run a construction business. Every day I come in, what my job is? I ain't really a business owner. I'm a fireman. I put out fires all day long.
Yeah. So let me say this right here. So you said about the truck. There's no truck parking nowhere. Okay. You said, man, what if if we could have these truck parking lots, and this right here just gave me an idea. I was like, wow. So what if we could have these truck parking lots and the government pays for them?
Right.
Well, how can the government pay for them? I'm gonna give you this right here, okay? And I'm not gonna charge for it. So, so you get the truck parking lot, and in your business name, whatever it is, get that business certified. Once that business becomes certified, you write a grant. Get somebody to help you write the grant. I got people on my team who can help do that. Get somebody who can help you bid. Help you write that grant for that right there, because guess what? That's a problem. You see what I'm saying? And they know that the government knows it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? And so if you can get you a grant for that, if you can get you a contract for that right there, say, you know what? I got a parking lot right here. I got 100 spaces right here. Truck drivers can come over here and park for free every night. And guess what? I get paid from the government. Same thing they do with food. Hey, you know what? I'll feed these people right here. I'll just get the money from the government. Right. And I'll be able to feed you.
Yeah, and that's true, man. That's a cold way to think about it. If you can do that, you'd be onto something right there. You really would, man. And I think I honestly wish somebody would just step up and do that, man, because we're out here getting disrespected at such a level. We don't have the respect we used to have, man. It's gone. It's almost gone. And I hate it, man, because we're the lifeblood of America, man. Pardon my French, you can't wipe your ass, brush your teeth without us.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. And it's just, man, people, we're in their way. They were aggravated by us, and it's just, we should be having our own lane. Like, this lane is for trucks only. We ain't even got to be over here with the car. They should institute that where we just all but, they should have one standardized regulation instead of all these different state regulations. It should be one set of rules across the board, everywhere.
Right.
And we should have parking and fueling and everything else, man. We should get a superior service to get this stuff where it needs to go, but it ain't never happened, in my opinion.
Yeah. But you know what? The people who cut you off, the people who treat you like crap, you know what? The stuff that you bring in probably belong to them. And they just, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to let you out at the parking lot so that you can take the load somewhere else, or so you can bring the load in. They don't want to stop, but then they get into the store and say, "Why y'all ain't got this? Why y'all ain't got this?" Well, it's out there on the truck, but you being mean to the truck driver, you know.
Out there doing how you acting, and this is why it ain't here. You know,
Yeah.
you hey,
And I think Corona and this COVID thing, man, I think it really brought a light to it for a moment. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, it just
didn't last. You know, they were like,
yeah,
oh, we need you, and then they go right back to normal. Just don't even, whatever. They
yeah,
don't care. You know, that's the world though. That's just the world we live in America. People are just selfish. You know, don't they take it for granted? Everything, even us, me and you, we take stuff for granted all day long.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and that's just what it is. You know. But yeah, as far as like, and I'm agreeing with you, man. I think trucking ain't going nowhere, and even the autonomous trucks, I think we're light years away from that. I think
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
keep testing it to infinity, and it ain't gonna operate the way they want because you just can't take. I don't care what technology they put in it. You ain't putting no computer to do what we do in downtown LA, in downtown
yeah,
Philly, in downtown New York. I don't think it's ever gonna be possible, man.
yeah,
I mean, trains. Yeah, I mean, they might build warehouses by the interstate where they can pull in and get off the stuff, or have a driver take it from there, maybe, or something, drop the trailer off, then have day cabs take it to where it needs to go or something. Maybe that, but as far as it being 100% automated, now autopilot on the interstate, like what Tesla's doing, yeah, but it's still gonna have a driver in it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And he's gonna turn that autopilot off and take it into where it needs to go. In my
yeah.
opinion.
And you know what? I've seen one of those trucks before. I haven't even posted this video. I said I was gonna post. I keep forgetting to post it. But I seen this guy that had one of the self-driving trucks at the pilot that I was at getting fuel, and I was like, man, like it was real cool to what they had. I was like, man, what is this setup up here? Kind of find out it was a self-driving truck. And the only thing he got to do is sit behind the wheel and just monitor. And I was like, "Hey man, can you text and drive?" You like, "No, you still got to be alert and stuff like this. So you can't be,
Yeah.
you still got to be alert, And you can put all the AI you want in there, but you won't be able to replace any of that stuff with human intelligence.
You just can't. You can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the stuff we have to deal with on the fly, last minute, you can't
yeah,
make it do that. I don't think fast enough. I don't think you can make it compute to every single scenario. There's so many scenarios. It's
yeah,
infinity, and it changes every day. And I don't think I just don't think that. And I know there's some smart people, it's Tesla and all that and everything they got going on. There's some crazy stuff coming out in the next 5 years, but I
yeah,
don't think get there. I think the autopilot, like the guy, he got to be in there and making sure at the end of the day it's going right. But that lane might be like a I-40 lane he's running or something. He ain't
yeah,
downtown Philly. Yeah, you could get off in Arizona with an autonomous truck at the thing, but you ain't taking York. You ain't taking Brooklyn. You ain't taking, you know,
yeah,
it ain't happening, man. San Francisco, it ain't believe it. I don't believe it.
yeah,
Now, about the lane stops and the parking and everything, yeah, maybe, but not with like that. I don't think so. But where else do you see it going for people that are scared to get in? Because I know that's one of my biggest questions that people ask me. Man, I don't want to get a truck. I don't want to get in. It's going, if it's going to go bankrupt or this and that. I think, man, if you wasting time. What I tell them,
yeah,
you should have already got in. Should have already
yeah.
got in.
Yeah, you should have already got in, man. It ain't going nowhere. I would say, do your due diligence or whatever. The hardest thing that you can be able to find is a driver. Uh, but it ain't going nowhere because the freight ain't doing nothing but just going up. I mean, there's so much demand right now. You know what I'm saying? There's so much demand right now that you know it's people that's picking up different accounts. I went to a place the other day, and these cats are adding another door.
Right.
It was like a storefront building where I picked up something. Man, these cats are adding in another door in the back of their warehouse just so that they can push out more product. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they got too much. It's too much demand out here. And once you get into an industry like paper, water, plastic, hazmat, man, it can't. Where is it going to? Get
Right.
into it right now while you can get into it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
Definitely.
right now you just wasting time.
Yeah, that's what I tell people, man. And they say this, the research I'm looking at, the articles I'm reading, is saying the demand for products, whether it be Amazon or stuff you buying and purchasing, the purchasing is going up, but the distribution is not following with it. It's just staying kind of stagnant. So that tells you right there that we need all we can get.
Yeah,
So gonna stay that way for a long time. And that's why they're pushing so hard for these autonomous trucks, because it's just a void they can't, you know. Um, but another question I had, man, and I know you got to go. You're busy, man. I really do appreciate you doing this. Is where do you want to go with trucking? What do you think your end result? You think you just happy where you at? You gonna ride that out, or you think you see yourself in 5 years trying to do something different, blow it up, or you don't know yet?
Yeah, I do know. One of the things I want to do, I want to bring more education to the high schools, to a lot of people, because a lot of the people, the leaders in the industry and different people like that right there, they always say, man, why is it this shortage? And I think it's a shortage because people don't know. People are not privy to the money that can be made in trucking. You know what I'm saying? I had talked to a young brother years ago, and I told him, hey man, how about you get your, you graduate high school, you're 18 years old. How about you get your CDL license and just stay intrastate? You can run containers,
Right.
and just run back and forth. And then by the time you get 21, now you cross state lines, and you done had your license for a year. You cross state lines or whatever, and now for that year, after you turn 21, now you got your experience. You've been doing, hauling flatbed or step deck or whatever, and you done got your experience. You turn 22. Once you turn 22, guess what? You can go to a company and learn some more stuff. Become an owner operator. Okay.
Right.
Once you become an owner operator, learn how to do that.
22, 23 years old, making over $100,000 a year, man. And then you can't go to college and come out making that kind of money.
You can't. You're gonna go to college and end up owing that type of money.
Exactly.
But you don't know that.
Making $30,000, $40,000 a year to pay it back, and you can't afford it. And you can't have a family, you can't have a house, you can't have nothing. So I'm right there with you on that. So you're looking at the educational side of it rather than the trucking company side of it. You're gonna blow that education up in your mind and kind of take that where, and that's exactly what we was talking about getting into. You don't have to own a company or drive a truck. You can go over here and blow up a big business and have a great company really getting and teaching the kids and doing something beneficial for the communities, man.
Yeah. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to do the educational part. I also want to have the company part. I also want to have the training part. So whatever it is that can be done in transportation, I want to be able to have a facility that you can do that at. So whether it be learning how to secure freight, whether it learning how to dispatch, learning how to become a broker. I want to have those training classes there. I want to make sure I want to have I got big dreams. I'm trying to have me a truck stop, a truck parking lot. I want something bigger than Iowa 80.
Yeah. Hey, there you go, baby. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. I'd love to see that. Well, I'm gonna come out there and visit you when you cut the ribbon, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing, man. I saw something really, really cool, man. I want to hit up this guy. I don't know if you've seen him. He's got a big following. I think he's like 60,000 or something on IG. I think he goes by the name, man, it slipped my mind, Boss Man Brewster or something like that.
Yeah.
Prison reform, man. So guys did a hard time, and they went in and made mistakes when they were 17, 18, maybe whatever it was, B&E or selling drugs or something. But they get out, now they're grown men and they need opportunity,
Exactly.
And I really thought that was cool, man. I thought that, like, he only hired, guys who did hard time,
Yeah.
And they went in as a kid and they made a mistake that a child makes, but now they're grown and they probably ain't gonna make that mistake. One of my good friends that drives for us, been with us since like the beginning I started. He did like 20 years. And really cool guy. I'm an older man now, he's in his 50s, but super cool cat, man. And it's just like that was something that changed his life. He can come out, got credit, became owner operator, bought a truck, trailer. Now he's buying a semi and getting into that. He started with a hot shot truck, and he's just completely transformed his life. And he grinds, man.
Yeah.
And that opportunity, I thought, man, that is so cool. And it's a niche that nobody had. They feel it on the conglomerate scales, I guess, but nobody really focused on that and kind of putting a light on that,
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool, man. Obviously there's people that come out, they're gonna make mistakes again and go back in, but I think the majority of people that kind of time that are grown, and they don't want to, they're not gonna make a mistake again. They just need an opportunity. And what's the options out here for people like that? McDonald's, Home Depot, I ain't knocking on these companies, but you ain't gonna make the kind of money you can make getting into this life changing.
Yeah. You're not, and it's sometimes it's a hard road. Being out there by yourself or whatever. But once you get to the point where you got your freedom, there's nothing like your freedom. And everybody I talk to, once they become an owner operator, once they have their own company, even though you may work a little bit harder, there's nothing like your freedom. You know, you may have to put up your own money. You may have to do, man, but it's nothing like your freedom. It's nothing like your time. You know.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. And that's why I tell people, they're always, oh, I could never be on the road. I could never drive. I hate driving, this and that. And I'm like, man, it's not that bad. It seems, I mean, there's times I was on the road, I was missing my family and stuff, and you're lonely, I get that. But like, you got to put your time in, and you making so much money, man. When I was out there as an owner operator, I was making so much money, and I was just like, man, $3,000, $4,000 a week profit after everything. And I'm
Yeah.
saying, man, when you got money, you got options, and if you got
Yeah.
options, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
That's it right there. I tell people if you want to start a business, get a truck.
Right.
Drive a truck. If you want to start a business, because that money that comes from being an owner operator, that money that comes from having a truck, you can venture off and start anything with that because you can do stuff so fast. You can get your credit right real
Yeah.
fast. You know what I'm saying? If you first of all got to make sure that you're not. You have to make sure that you're not giving away all of your money by like try to stunt. You know,
Yeah.
some people and that's one of the things I teach right there because I see a lot of people they'll go out here and they still have that company mindset and they'll get $5,000 net income for one
Oh
week
yeah.
and go out there and go buy some rims or go out there and
Yeah.
buy a big
Or
screen TV or go
yeah.
stunt somewhere.
Oh, I see them all the time, man. They go out and buy, big gold chains. They go to Vegas and rent Lambos and stuff. And I'm not knocking it, man. If you're young, I got a couple of guys that work for me, and every time they're off, they want to be in Miami or LA or Philly or somewhere.
Yeah,
Hey, they're young. You team driving. You ain't got a whole bunch of responsibility. Do you? But at the end of the day, you gotta sacrifice and keep some of that money so you can look long term. And but they're young, 24, 25.
yeah,
And if like you're looking right here, right now, you're not looking over there. And somehow between there and there, you're gonna wake up over there and be like, damn, I didn't save nothing. Because the
right.
way like save that money and do something, blow it up and buy the Lambo. Don't rent it for the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Tell them, you want to own one or you want to rent one. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I tell them that all the time. But some people's young, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and I ain't gonna knock it. I did a lot of young, dumb young stuff too. So, but man, I tell them all the time like this. People call me and like, man, I couldn't drive, I couldn't do this, and it's like, man, you're gonna go out here and sacrifice anyway. You're gonna work that factory job for
yeah.
20, 30,000 a year. You
You
can come over.
sacrificing something.
Yeah, you sacrificing no matter which way you look at it. Whether you punching in a time clock and doing that factory job, or you over here driving a truck, you sacrificing. But over
Yeah,
here, you gonna be compensated for your sacrifice, and you can take 2 weeks off and have 10,000 in the bank. Where you got to ask the boss man over here to take 2 weeks off, he ain't gonna give it to you. Maybe it don't get
right,
approved, and you got to keep clocking in. So
right.
that's what I. No matter what, you sacrificing. Just drive. You are gonna make more money here.
You sacrificing somewhere. Yep.
All right. I have a lot of people too come on and they're like, man, I don't want to go over here. I don't want to run in the South. I only want to do this. I only want to do that. And I'm like, man, it's just a place. Your job is
Yeah.
to drive up to a place. It don't matter if it's Texas,
Right.
LA, whatever. I mean, yeah, obviously don't nobody want to go to Manhattan and Brooklyn and things like that. That sucks. But because it's really tight. But at the end of the day, man, if you stay in the Midwest Southeast region, which is what we do, it's a place. It don't matter if it's Florida, as long as you're making money to get there
Yeah.
and back. That's the way I looked at it. I never looked at it, I got to go here. I don't want to run there. I don't want to go there because of the tolls. Like if I'm making money, I will take this stuff to Egypt.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If the money is there, take it
Right.
wherever it got to go. The people, I hear that all the time. Now I always tell people don't go to dead lanes, like we were talking about earlier. Yeah, man, I'm going to Nebraska or I'm going to Montana to pick up a load. What? What are you picking up? Air? You know what I'm saying? But if you got to go through there to Washington State to go pick up something and bring it back down here to Georgia, like,
Right.
hey, make that money, especially if you
Right.
got you a dependable, reliable truck that ain't gonna break down on you. Different things like that. You know what?
Go out a lot. In fact, we're taking a load to Salt Lake, but it's paying $8 a mile. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You make money off that.
Like, man, they can knock me all I want, but guess what? I ain't going into over there for $2 a mile because that's basically $1 each way. I'm going over there, get head out, and I ain't messed up about it. All the way back to Kansas City or Texas or something.
Yeah.
So, and it's all about who you know and what you know. I always tell people like this, man, and it's kind of like a joke, and it's became this thing. But in trucking, your job is to haul shit. If you can't haul a whole bunch of shit or specialize, why are they gonna pay you a lot of money? They ain't gonna do it. You either haul something specialized that's small and light that they're gonna pay a bunch of money. Like the guys that drive for what is it, Southern Pride, those jet engines and stuff. They make $5,000 a year with them big super cab sleepers. Or you gonna haul a bunch of stuff, and so they're either paying for a bunch or a specialized. They ain't gonna pay you a whole lot of money to haul a little bit of something that ain't special because they can put
Yeah.
it on the next. You know? So
Always,
that's
and you
it.
know what? I tell people that the more specialized you go, the more money you make. Okay,
Yeah.
the more specialized you go, the more money you make. So if you just hauling just a regular van, yeah, you're gonna make money. You know what I'm saying? But once you get up, you hauling AA&E and ammunition and explosives. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And you're hauling, these big old
Farmers, you know,
farming stuff.
they make a lot of money, man.
Yeah, that stuff make a
So
lot of money. Hey, you know
yeah.
what? I want to say something before we got off. I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, one of my
Do it.
sponsors, Blue Tiger, and this is one right here. This Elite Plus right here. It's one of the most amazing headsets that they got out right now. Okay, this thing right here, it got 2 headphones on it. Plus, it got the Flex headband. It worked with Siri and Google Assistant. It got a removable speaker on it. And so this one right here is my favorite. Okay,
Man,
now I like this right here.
call God with that thing, bro. It look legit.
Huh?
I said, I bet you could call God with that thing. It look legit, man.
Yeah, he answered the phone and be like, "Hello, what's going on, Larry?" And
Hey,
this one right here, this one right here, it's the Vox Pro chip. It got the Vox Pro chip, very ergonomic. Got the and everybody I talk to that have these right here, they always talk about the battery life. This thing, battery life, it got 60 hours of continuous talk time, music play, and guess how often you got to charge it? Every 2 weeks.
man,
So if you constantly using the thing,
that's
you charge it.
crazy. I got Yeah, I'm on the phone all the time, man. And when I was in the truck, by the end of my career, I already hardly listened to music. I was talking to somebody. Hey,
Yeah,
please don't get off. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, man. And
Uh,
also like if they want if your listeners, if they use DAT or whatever and they want to get 30 days for free, or they want to use the DAT system for 30 days for free, guess what? You can hit my link in the bio. Um,
put it
also,
in, I'll drop some of your links in here, man. You give them to me. We'll throw them in this video for you.
okay.
Um, one last question I have before we get off, man, just so people know, what you can do and what has trucking done for you, man. Like overall, from the beginning to where you're at now, what has trucking done for you, the trucking industry?
It has given me a lot of knowledge, but not only knowledge, it has given me so many valuable relationships. And relationships, you can't pay for relationships, man.
Yeah, they're
It
more
has
valuable.
given me so many relationships that I could just, call people, trustworthy people, man. And like, I got people that, that's concerned about my family and stuff.
Yeah,
They ask me how my family, my wife, and my kids are doing. Like, man, trucking has opened up so many doors for me to where not only is it opening doors for me for driving, but opening up doors for me for like being a trucking entrepreneur. So that's what I call myself now. That's what a lot of people call me, a trucking entrepreneur, because now guess what? I got sponsors like Blue Tiger. I got sponsors like Trucker Tools, DAT, Trucker Path, you know. And so, having those sponsors and different things like that right there, man, it's amazing. I love having the sponsors. I love connecting with the people. I love being a brand ambassador. I love helping people with their brands and different things like that. So it has given me the time, the opportunity. And a lot of times, like when I'm in the truck, I'm either consulting or I'm doing some marketing work because I do marketing on the side. And so with the marketing and different things like that, I usually do marketing for churches, small businesses, politicians, stuff like that. So I'm able to take control of their account while I'm in the truck. You see what I'm saying?
right.
During my off time, I'm able to do that, bring in money like that as well.
Yeah,
So man, it
absolutely.
just giving me so many opportunities, man.
From where you started back in '07 to now, even do you think that it's changed your life financially, sticking with it this long as well? And if you wouldn't have done it, you'd have been in a different lane and maybe wasn't paying off as fast. I mean, I'm sure you're a successful person right off the bat anyway. Your energy, your positivity, you was gonna be successful in anything you did. But do you
Yeah.
think that this kind of gave you the right lane? This was your lane to be in?
Yeah, this is my lane to be in. Because financially it has given me so much money, man. And
Yeah.
it's so much money to come. It's so much money on the table right now that I need to decide about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so
One last thing too, man, is I saw you got a book out, man. I'm being ready to drop my book, but tell them about your book, man. I seen that on there, man. That look really cool, man. You look like you
yeah,
self-published book.
Yeah. So I had an author. I mean, so let me tell you a little bit about the process for a moment. So my wife was working at a school. While she was working at school, and I had other people that was I knew that was administrators, teachers, and different things like that. And I was a mentor at different schools and stuff like that. And what I would do is I would go to the schools, and the kids would have so many excuses for why they wasn't doing their work, for why they wasn't behaving, and different things like that. And so one day I just got super mad, and I was down in Montgomery, Alabama, and I had heard one of my friends had called me and told me about one of the students and stuff like that. And I just got super mad, man. And I just started talking in my phone. And I was talking into the notes of my phone. And things start coming back to my memory. I was like, you know what? If I can't go there personally, I'm gonna share with them. Guess what? You can be successful and not have the best life. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have the best life coming up. I didn't have the best stuff coming up. And so with my book, I said, you know what? I'm gonna write this thing, and I'm gonna write it to these like 7 or 8 boys. And
Yeah.
that's what I did. I wrote it. I wrote it to them, and I wrote the book in like 3 days. The first day I wrote like 30 something pages. The next day I wrote like 90 pages. The other day I wrote like 103 pages. But the part that took me the longest was I part that took me the longest was the editing process. And so had an editor, and her name is Ashley King. And so had the editor, and she was giving me tips on what to do, different things like that right there. And so she helped me with the editing process. And so it's called More Than a Conqueror. You can find it on Amazon. It's called More Than a Conqueror by Larry Cawthron, and it just gives my story. It actually shows how I got into different things as far as my life, my ministry, even in trucking, you know. And so, because I started in the as an owner operator with a tax refund and a dream, and I had to hear the
I
voice of the
love
Lord.
that. Dream, baby. Yeah. You got a
Yeah,
dream. You got some money. Let's go. I
yeah.
love that.
And so I didn't have that much money because I had about $7,000, and I put like $4,000 down for it. They financed the other $1,000 for my truck, and then I was like hoping and praying. So I had like $3,000 left, and I was hoping and praying I didn't have a blowout, something didn't happen, and that first week was like terrible. So I said, man, I should have been a company driver. I should have stayed a company driver.
Five blowouts is gonna be everything. You know, now you calling and crying. How is this possible? You know,
Yeah, and
that's
so
life. You definitely overcome, man. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
yeah.
And but last but not least, man, I know you busy. You know, we both got stuff going on. It's Sunday, man, and whatnot. Tell them where they can find you, man. Where can I find you? I mean, give them the IG, give them YouTube, give them everything.
All right, so if you go to YouTube and just type in L Boogie, you can find me there. Okay, you can find me on the L Boogie on YouTube. Okay, now if you go to Instagram or you go to TikTok, just type in I am Larry Cawthron. That's I am LarryCothran. Okay, and if you see my TikToks, guess what? I like to be a comedian sometimes, so I want you
I
to
just
follow
got
me.
started. No lie, I did TikTok, a couple TikToks. I just got started on TikTok, man. I had like 100 followers. I said, man, I gotta do something with this TikTok. Some of the guys like you that started back when I should have started, or when I started it, I didn't really do nothing with it. And you guys are blowing up, man. I got a couple guys that started that I'm friends with, got 100 some thousand followers. And I'm
Hey,
like, man, I done missed the TikTok situation all the way. So I
yeah.
just on that. You know, I did a couple of them and people it blew up. I got like 500 followers in just 2 days. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
so I love the ones you do, man. I think you kind of the one that inspired me, man. I got to get on this TikTok thing. You know.
yeah,
So where else can they find you? That's TikTok. Did you say TikTok?
yeah. That's on TikTok and on Instagram. So I tell people, just follow me on there or follow me on L Boogie
Okay,
on
cool.
YouTube.
Yeah. All right, man. Good. Well, hey, again, I appreciate you coming on, man. I really do. I know this is taking time out of your Sunday with your family. You home, I'm home. We're both rolling out to, this week or probably whatever. But be safe, man. Let me know if you need anything at all. You know, hit me up, and
Yeah,
I wish you the best. Like I said, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this, man. I know you're really busy, man. So I know it took us a long time to get this together. It was
yeah,
probably a couple months before we could make it happen. But I'm glad you finally did it, man. We was able to make it happen. So I appreciate it.
yeah, man. No problem. I appreciate it too.
All right, bro. Best of luck, man. Enjoy your Sunday. And again, thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you too.
All right, man. See ya.
Okay, holla.